storage. Okay.
Alright, good afternoon. Today we're going to be talking about online storage. My name is Prent Davis. We also have here Nicole Kelly and
Carly Doherty.
And we're going to be talking, like I said, a little bit about online storage. To begin, let's talk about some of the cons. On many of the available online storage websites, including Mozy, iSpace, Dropbox, and Carbonite, to name a few, typically you have 2 gigabytes free, which is pretty good pro, which means it's affordable. But on the other hand, 2 gigabytes in the grand scheme of things is not that much. If you look at it, depending on your camera size, maybe 3 or 4 pictures is will be able to get into to those 2 gigabytes.
Picture space, you can only get 4 say pictures on there if you have a good camera. Price wise, how much would it be?
Well, I've noticed that, like I said, you have on most of them 2 gigabytes free, except for Carbonite. They're kind of stingy with that. In most cases, you're going to be paying anywhere from $5 a month to maybe $10 a month. In a couple of cases, I think it's about $100 a year.
Okay. So what about files and stuff like that? Did you see?
Well, it really, once again, depends on your application. I mean, you can put any kind of file that you want to on these online storage places. And if you go ahead and pony up for the $100 a year, or $5 or $10 or $20 a month, then you can put
as much as
you want or whatever you want. But for free, if you want to go to the free part, which looking at is you're going to be limited by your application. For instance, if you're rolling with just Word and Excel and I don't know, PowerPoint or any other kind of office software, you can probably put in 2 gigs, a couple of thousand different files like that. So if it's one of those things where you want to make sure your presentation or paper or what have you is available to you whenever you need it, then it's great. But if you're a professional photographer, let's say for instance, and you have a really fancy camera that takes, I don't know, let's say 10 megapixel pictures, and your file size is like 500 or 600 megabytes, then you're not going to get that many pictures on 2 gigs, and you would need to go ahead and pay out for more storage.
Okay. Another con could possibly be that you forget. You have to sign on using a username and a password, and I know I've got tons of websites and tons of usernames and passwords to remember, so you could possibly forget that.
Yeah.
Another con would be if your account gets hacked, other people can get into your stuff.
And that's a huge problem.
Yeah.
Internet connection. You have to have an internet connection to be able to use these online storage units. And if you don't have one, then you can't get to it. So wherever you go, you have to hope that there's an internet connection.
Right.
Which most cases there is. It's pretty hard not to be able to find an internet connection, but sometimes something happens and the network goes.
Is actually housed in a computer in a server somewhere, probably Silicon Valley, California, somewhere like that. It is information that is contained in a machine somewhere. And being a machine, just like the machine you have at home or the machine that you carry in your bag and your laptop, it can fail or it can be temporarily down for maintenance. Now, has it ever happened to me? Well, no, not yet, knocking wood. But it can happen.
Right, it definitely can happen, because it's happened here at South.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, all the time. Trying to get on the internet, servers down or maintenance.
Oh yeah, I mean, how many times have you tried to check your Jaguar email and it's like, okay, routine maintenance on Friday.
So
Friday,
you never know. You never know when or where it could happen. So that's just another thing you have to keep in consideration.
Right. But that's not to say that your online storage is a bad thing. No, it's not. It's great. I mean, the ability to access it anywhere that there's a internet connection is great. I mean, let's say, for instance, that you're working on something and it's a 20-page paper that you've been working on for the last 3 weeks. If you back it up on online storage, let's say that the worst happens, you get the blue screen of death when you go to print the sucker out, and what you thought you had on your little USB drive has been chewed up by your dog. All's not lost, because it's like I said, backed up on a server somewhere in Silicon Valley, California, and all I gotta do is find a computer anywhere that has an internet connection. I can go to Kinko's and access their computers there and print off your paper or do what you have to do.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about jump drives and flash drives and carrying your laptops and stuff like that everywhere.
Yeah. Not free for unlimited storage, but for smaller things, like I said, presentations, papers, a handful of pictures, it is free in many cases. In the case of, I'm trying to think, Carbonite is not free, as I noticed they didn't have anything like that, but for everyone there where they didn't have any of the free storage, there's several others who do.
Right.
All I had to do is, what I had to do was just get on Google and just Googled, online storage or online backup, and hundreds shot up.
Right. So there's plenty of opportunities to use it. Options, just depending on what you want to use it for and how you use it. Depends on if it's free or if you pay $10 a month or $20 a month. But either way, it's there and it's at your hands and it's accessible.
Numerically, if you want to count it up, I guess numerically there'd be more cons than pros, but if you were to consider the intrinsic value of the pros versus the cons, I would say that the pros outweigh the cons.
Very much so. Accessibility wins over all of it.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.